Hey y'all, this is Gail from Texas. I'm teaching your chair Tai Chi class today. I've been a student of Allison's for about 3 years now, over 3 years. And after I had a little heart surgery and saw how much my chair yoga folks like the little things I added from chair Tai Chi, I thought I need to get certified so I can teach just chair Tai Chi. And that's what I've been doing for the past 3 years or so. And my students in person and online on Veterans Yoga Project love the class. I hope you enjoy this class. It's a little sampler, about 20 minutes long. So join me, grab your chair, and let's get started. Again, my name is Gail. I teach for Veterans Yoga Project online. It's free yoga classes for our veterans, friends, and communities members. And also I teach yoga and chair Tai Chi at Lakeside Center here in Beaumont, Texas. So if you're ever close to Beaumont, Texas, come and visit, okay? I teach on Wednesdays. All right, so we're going to get started. So we're going to do a bows with the right fist, that's the sun, and that flat left palm, that's the moon. And we bow down to one another to start our chair Tai Chi class today. Welcome. So I invite you to feel your feet into the floor. So press your feet into the ground. So it gets you out of your mind and into your body. And you feel a little contraction of your quadriceps, top of the legs, the calves, the bottoms of the feet, maybe a little core activation. And I always like to be away from the back of the chair so I engage those tall posture muscles. Do what you can with what you got. If you've got a curve in the spine, you can't quite sit tall, that's okay too, all right? We're just going to do what feels all right, okay for us today. So find your belly button and then take a hand below the belly button and the one hand on top. We'll practice our lower belly breathing into our Dantian, our collection center for our energy. So we're going to be breathing in, and as we do this breath, our belly expands, and as we exhale, we draw the belly button towards our spine. So let's breathe in, belly out, like when we were babies. This is how we used to breathe. And then exhale, belly button towards your spine. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly out. And your chest also moves, by the way. And exhaling. And one more time. Here we go. Breathe in, belly out. And exhale. So that lower belly breathing helps to facilitate reducing your heart rate, lowering your blood pressure, and helping the cerebral spinal fluid in your brain go through and get in through your lymphatic system through that subclavian vein on the left. So I love it. So from here, let's do a little bit. We're going to work from head to toe. So we're going to take our nose and draw what we call the Atlas point rotation. You might hear some crinkly stuff going on. So this is good for softening those neck muscles, kind of understanding maybe where you're stiff a little bit. Again, you can go slower is good, or that medium pace. Well, I'm feeling it here on that right side. And then we're going to pause and then go in the other direction. So let's have the head go the other direction. So you'll notice, you did it one direction, and in the second direction, does it feel different? It might. Might be a little more noisy. You'll see some of these poses that we did. You probably saw them in the Qigong class that Alan taught earlier. So that's what's nice about chair Tai Chi. We take from the standing movements and the Qigong practice and incorporate it into seated on the chair. And then bring your head back to the center. All right, from here, we're going to do swimming dragon. So the palms are together. I like to hook the thumbs sometimes, but that's totally optional. And again, we're going to use that breath. So when we coordinate the breath with the movement, that helps to lower our cortisol, our stress hormone. So it's a good thing. We do this both in yoga and Tai Chi practices. So let's breathe in, belly gets big. And then push the hands one direction, turn the head the other direction, exhaling. Stay here, breathe in. And then belly button tight, bring it back to the center. Again, stay here, breathe in, belly big. Range of motion helps with neck pain. Push it away, turn the head. Stay here, breathe in. And then exhale back to the center. Beautiful. Let's do some shoulder rolls just to kind of warm up those muscles in the musculature area around the shoulders. Again, you might hear some snap, crackle, pops happening here. And then let's reverse that. Go the other way. Whew. Again, today's class is like a little 20-minute class, but Allison of World Tai Chi teaches this on Tuesday and Thursday at 2. And again, to the front. And Friday at 10:30. And reverse. Very nice. Let's do a wild goose flutter to bring energy into those wrists, those hands, those arms. Kind of clear, block meridians if there's something going on here. Shake, shake, shake. And then let's turn it to the side. One arm to the side, one to the front, and switch. Turning your head also if that's available. Sometimes I hit my leg or hit my hand on my leg when I do the wild goose flutter. All right, and then bring it back to the center. Now bring it out to the side. We're going to switch this to arm flapping. That helps with carpal tunnel. And then turn the wrists up and flap. That feels weird, doesn't it? All right, and then from here we're going to, do you feel that energy, that sensation happening with the wrists, the arms? You might. We're going to cup the hands now and swing the arms. Again, just to kind of get a little bit of motion into the shoulder joint. Then we're going to add on to it by tapping the top of the shoulders if you can. So get those elbows to bend a little bit. Again, kind of working all those major joints and muscle groups when we do our chair Tai Chi class. And I hear a little snap, crackle, pop on that left side. So that's just kind of how my body rolls, okay? It just like makes that little sound. And then make it slower, slower, and slower. So the next is called the o'clock. So again, it's a range of motion in the shoulder area. And you're going to have a palm facing your leg. And I invite you to inhale the arm up. Once it gets to the 12 o'clock position, that's where it gets its name, you're going to turn the palm away and bring the arm back behind you. Ooh, kind of spicy. And again, inhaling up. Turn that palm away. Exhale. Again, breathing in. Turn the palm away. Exhaling. One more time. Breathe in. Turn that palm away. Exhale. Excellent. Let's do the other side. So the palm facing your leg here. And let's do that again. So inhale, arm up. Turn that palm away. Exhaling. Ooh, notice what you notice. Again, breathe in. This is easier to do on this side. Turn the palm away. Exhale. Or is it about the same? Again, inhaling up. Turning that palm away and exhaling. One more time. Breathe in. Two more times. Turn it away. Exhale. One more time. Inhaling up. Turn that palm away. Exhale. Very good. We're going to do what's called a finishing breath. It's a little different from the yoga. I also teach yoga for 26 years, so there's some differences. We're going to do what's traditionally considered a Tai Chi finishing breath. So we're going to inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And as if your hands are on top of a ball, you're bringing the energy from the heavens, from the universe, back down to your lower body, to that Dantian area. Let's do that again, and we're going to transition into Eagle Claw after this next finishing breath. So again, breathe in, circle, sweep arms up, and then bring down that energy. We're going to bring fists down this time. All right, so this is for increasing mobility and, the range of motion in our shoulders, our arms, and a little bit of a hand exercise going on here too. So we're going to inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the palm. And then exhale, press it forward. Inhaling back to your chest. Now turn your head out to the side and then press the arm out to the side. We're going to open and close this hand 5 times. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to the waist. Switch sides. Inhale, other fist to chest. Exhale, sky high for that increased mobility. Inhale back to your chest. Open up the palm. Really open it up here. Then exhale, push it forward. Inhale back to your chest. Turn the head to the side and exhale, press it out, and then open and close 5 times. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to the waistline. Switch sides. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhaling back to your chest. Open up the palm. Exhale, press forward. Inhale back to your chest. Turn your head to the side. Press that arm out. Exhaling, and then let's open and close 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time. Here we go. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale back to your chest. Open up that palm. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale back to your chest. Turning the head. Exhale, press it out to the side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then bring the energy down from the universe back on down to that lower Dantian. All right, so let's take a leg out to the side. I'm resting on the back of my heel. I'm wearing my little grounding sandals today. So you can do Tai Chi with socks on, bare feet, or with your tennis shoes on. Just make sure you're not on a slick surface. But I guess since you're grounded in the chair, that won't make much difference. I'm here on the carpet. So if it's spicy in the back of the knee, you can always bend that knee. But again, toes towards you. And then let's point the toes away. So this foot flex and point that we're going to do here in this calf pump is considered to be lessening foot cramps. And when we pump the calf, and let's start that, that's considered to be our second heart in traditional Chinese medicine. And just, kind of notice how it feels here. Very good. And then let's bring it in. We got to do the other side. So bring the other leg out. And again, lay on the back of that heel, toes towards you. So immediately you're noticing, does this feel a little different on this side compared to the one I just did? It might, okay? Point the toes away. And just kind of notice top of the foot, the shin, the knee, the quadricep. And let's get that heel pump, that point and flex going. So also 2 years ago, the University of Houston did a study where they studied calf pumping after a meal, and they showed that it lowered the blood glucose. So here's another technique. If you can't get away from that kitchen table when you're talking at dinner with folks, maybe you can just kind of underneath do some calf pumps if you can't do that quick little walk. All right, beautiful. And then bring it in. Excellent. So in Tai Chi, I teach chair Tai Chi with a splash of yoga. So there are some yoga moves in this class. We'll see that in this next one. But this is a traditional Tai Chi movement. It's called spinal cord breathing. We know it in the yoga community as cat-cow. So you'll see similarities, okay? So remember how we cup the hands when we swung the arms? We're going to cup the hands in front of our chest, which is the middle Dantian, by the way. And then what we're going to do is inhale, elbows up, chest forward. So there's your cow right there, a little pelvic tilt forward. And then exhale, curve your spine to the back of the chair, forehead close to your fists. Now we're in this pelvic tilt. It might be spicy on some folks, so come slowly out of the pelvic tilt, back to elbows up, chest forward, breathe in. And then exhale into cat or extension back, flexion, extension back. And again, inhaling up and exhaling. Now we're going to turn to the side a little bit to get into those ribs a little bit. So turn to the side, elbows up, up, up. Exhale back to the center. You're also massaging those internal organs. Hey, let's go over to the other side. Inhaling up. Exhale back to the center. Now let's return to the center for our last one. Elbows up, 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 up. And exhaling. Now we're going to come out of that, do that finishing breath, and go into blood pressure techniques. We're going to bring our arms up and bring the back of the hands down the heart center. Kind of looks like a little heart. And then when we bring the palms forward, we're going to have the thumb into the palm and the fingers on top of the thumb. So that stimulates the heart meridian. And the part of this, what we're going to do is elbows back, chest forward. And then we turn the arms out to the side, so that stimulates the heart meridian, okay? So this, again, this is for helping with balancing blood pressure, whether it's high or whether it's low. And then, once again, let's together inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bring it down into that little heart shape. Grab those thumbs and then inhale, elbows back, chest forward. I'm kind of hinged forward when I do that, really squeezing that back muscles. Exhale, arms out to the side. Inhaling, up, 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 up. Bring it down, last time. Exhaling, grab those thumbs. Inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale, arms out to the side. And let's do that finishing breath. Breathe in. And again, bring everything back on down. Beautiful. We're going to do a little Qigong detoxing in the upper part of our body. So we're going to clap our hands. Get some heat going on here. Maybe you want to rub the thumb beds. And then maybe you want to start a little campfire kind of rub. And you move it into your fingers for increased circulation. Make those, if you have cold hands, this is great for that. And then I'm going to take one of my hands, cup it, and tap my shoulder. I'm going to bring it down the side of the arm, tap, tap, tap. And then turn my palm up, bring it up the inside, and then bring it to my armpit, down my side body, down below that hip bone, up the center. Then I do a fist coming up. Once I get here above my chest, right below my collarbone, I do a little thymus stomp to increase T cell production. And then I go back to my shoulder, and then I just kind of slough off that excess kind of itchy energy. Woo! Let's do the other side. Again, clap the hands. Get some heat going on here. Excuse me, I got a little frog going on today. Little sinus drainage. Very good. Now, we're going to take it to the outside of the arm. Get that shoulder. Bring it down. You know what, we're going to do that again so we get back to that shoulder. Bring the arm up. Bring it down. Tap it up the center. Again, do a little thymus thump here while you're at it. And then get that shoulder. And then just kind of slough off that excess energy. Very good. And from here, we're going to bring the ankle bones together. Do something that's called the jitterbug. Basically, what we're going to do is heel toe, over to a side and back in. So keep those ankles together. Whew. And then maybe your upper body is twisting a little bit. And then my chair squeaking. Of course, right? This is for your ankle mobility. It's also for brain work, okay? The brain work, you may be going, I'm not sure about that. Well, you know, your upper body is doing something different than your lower body, moving in a different direction. And then bring it back to the center. We're going to add on to jitterbug. We're going to have the heels out, toes in. Might feel a little awkward here. Then we're going to independently walk the feet out and in. So here's where you might notice, is my left ankle more strong than my right? Maybe you tap them, or are they the same? Typically, we probably have a stronger right leg because of, you know, the gas pedal and the brake pedal. Unless you're like me, I drive with 2 feet. Don't tell anybody. I guess that's because I learned on the clutch, right? Okay. Woo! One more time. Are the shins getting tired yet? They might, yeah. And then once we're here, kind of stomp those feet. And then come up on the balls of the feet and shake the leg. That's for preventing leg cramps. Okay, let's do it again. Stomp those feet. Shake those legs and clap those hands. Let's put a little heat on the shins, on the calves. Here we go. And then bring it up the sides of the legs, the insides, the undersides. And let's clap the hands once again. We're going to work the knees. We're going to do the knee strengtheners here in our Chair Tai Chi class. And let's get that heat to the knees. And then what I like to do too is come up on the pads of the fingers, kind of cat claws, stimulate all those acupressure points. It's almost ticklish. Almost, okay? And then tap, tap, tap the side of the knee for lessening knee pain. And then you can also do the insides. I find the insides are a little bit more spicier than the outside of the knee. All right, then we're going to scooch back in our chair for the knee strengtheners. Now that doesn't mean you can like slump in your chair, okay? But still be a nice tall posture. And there's a little brain work here. There's a little sneaky chair Pilates work in here too. So see if you can find out where that is. So what we're first going to do is flex a foot. Maybe you need to bring it off the chair a little bit. And then lower hover. And then point the toes. And release. Now we got to do the other side. So flex the foot. And I always got to lift my leg because it feels stuck on the chair. I don't know why that is. And then lower. And then point the toe. And release. Now we're going to add on to that. So we're going to flex a foot, flex an opposite hand. So here we go. Left side, right side, upper body, lower body. Little brain stimulation going on here. And then lower. And then point the toe, point the finger. Now here comes our chair Pilates. We're going to do a version of the 100 by thinking about a weird basketball dribble. So up and down. See if your abdominals are getting activated with this little movement here. And release. Woo! Other side, flex that foot, flex the other hand. Very nice. And lower. And then let's point the toe, point the finger, zip up those abdominals. Here we go, up and down. Do you feel it? You probably do. And release. Now we got one more set. Okay, here we go. Flex the foot, flex both hands. Very nice. Lower it, hover it, and then point the toe, point the fingers. Now alternate up and downs, weird basketball dribbles. Now, if you can, both at the same time. I don't know if I like that. And release. Other side. Last time. Flex the foot. Flex both hands. Good, good. Lower, hover. Point the toe, point the fingers. Let's get that basketball weird dribble going on here. Chair Pilates 100 move. And then up, down at the same time. Very nice. Woo! And release. Come forward. Clap your hands once again. Let's put a little heat here on the back side of our low back. You can do the back of the hands or the palms of the hands. And then get the side booty there a little bit. Because, you know, that may have been a little bit too much or just right. Very good. Rub some heat once again. All right, so next, I call this air pose in yoga, but we call it Sumo Stomp. So how we start out in yoga is we slide it out to the side and bring it in. So this is your getting in and out of the car movement. You may recognize that. But imagine there's a ping pong ball or a little soccer ball down there. You got to step over that ball. So notice your own muscular strength here, how high you're able to do this. If there's, you know, some challenges happening here. If you want to go beyond your range of motion, hand underneath the leg. Just to kind of grease that hip joint, yeah? Okay. If you want to add a little bone building to it, then you let the foot drop. Now, if you've got brittle bones, this is probably not what you need to do. You can also just have a soft landing with your Sumo Stomp. Again, like my mom says, she's 98. If you rest, you're going to rust. So we don't want to rust, okay? We don't want to be like the Tin Man. And bring it back on in. Now, we're going to do the air first. She's just sliding over air. And then there's that ball. You got to hop over that ball. Just try to do it with your own muscular strength first to kind of know, kind of gauge what's going on here. And then maybe hand underneath and drop. So I'm going a little bit higher in my natural range of motion and I'm inviting that bone rattling density movement with our Sumo Stomp. Let's do one more, all the way out and all the way in. Now my in-person folks, my people I teach, you know, one-on-one in the classroom, they love this next part of Sumo Stomp. I hope you do too. But basically you're going to have to raise your arms up, lift your leg and bring it out to the side, and a little bit of vocalization if you can. If maybe, okay? I won't hear you, but I'm just going to imagine it's happening. So here we go. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! Other side. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! One more each side. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! Again. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! Woo! Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. You probably feel a lot of energy going on now. Exhale, bring it down. Beautiful. Let's do Pari. So we're going to draw a circle in and out. One of my veterans that takes this class online with me they were telling me before class started, they go, guess which movie I just saw? And I'm thinking, I have no idea. And it goes, Karate Kid. I went, oh, okay. Because this is wax on, wax off. And if you don't know that, well, then you need to check it out. It's a really, really good movie. And then we're going to pause and then wipe it out. So I'm shifting my weight from one bun to the other. And maybe my feet need to go a little wide there. And then as if you're, cleaning your windows. So let's bring it vertically now. Again, today's class is just a little 20-minute sampler. There's a lot more that we do in Chair Tai Chi if you check out either Allison or my class. And then we're going to stop and then bring it in, wipe it in. Now, if you want to get a little bit more into your lungs, make fists and bring your elbows a little bit more across. Getting into those muscles that support the ribs and the lungs. Really a little bit deeper breath probably too. And then bring it back on top. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Let's do that finishing breath, inhaling up. Exhale, bring it down. Now we're going to do one of my students' favorite Tai Chi movements. It's called Swallow Flies to the Nest. Now there's a little sneaky yoga movement in there too. I'll tell you where it's at when we get to it. So basically we're going to take one of our hands out. We're going to inhale, bring it across. Exhale out to the side. Inhale up and over. Here it is, side lateral flexion in yoga. And then exhale out in front of you. And then bring it back to the center. Then we switch sides. So inhaling, bring it across. Exhale out to the side. Inhaling up and over. And exhale. Now this is their favorite part, the poem that goes with this. So if you know it, say it with me. If you don't, just listen. So here we go. Swallow flies east, breathe in. Swallow flies west, breathe out. Swallow flies up and over, inhaling, and lands in its nest. Other side. Swallow flies east, doesn't know directions. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over, and lands in its nest. Let's do that again. Breathe in, swallow flies east. Breathe out, swallow flies west. Inhaling, swallow flies up and over. And exhale, lands in its nest. Last time. Inhaling, bring it across, swallow flies east. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. And lands in its nest. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. All right, so we've got a little time. We're going to do some finger tapping. So let's tap the pinky sides, which helps us with headache and vertigo. We just do a little sampler in class, but it's often recommended to do this for about a minute each location. And then we're going to move to the web of our hands. Tap, 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 do that. That's for digestive disorders, nausea. Now there's a little brain work in here too. You flip it and do the other direction. Probably feels weird, yeah? Very good. Next is the interwebs of the fingers. So you're gently going to go in there and tap. That's for pain or numbness in the limbs. Now if you've got rings, they're going to make noise, so be cautious of the rings. Now we're going to freeze this, make it still, and wiggle the top finger, and then switch it to the other finger being on top. Ooh, your brain may have just went, what? Because you don't normally interlace the second way that we just did this. All right. So next is the pulse points. That's the heart cardiovascular issues. So some folks will, tap, tap, tap like that, but I like to do kind of up and down. That way we can get twice as much in here. Tap, tap, tap into that pulse point, and then flip it. Here we go. Again, you do this for about a minute. Again, we're doing a sampler today, all right? Back of the hand is for osteoarthritis, for back pain. So again, remember that cupped hand? You cup it over on the top of the hand, especially if you have rings, and tap, tap, tap. And then we're going to do the back of the wrist for neck and shoulder pain. I've not got my watch here, so just pretend that's the back of the wrist. Makes a nice little sound. Let's do the other side, back of the hand. Again, I've got a ring here, so I got to cup that hand a little bit. and then move it to the back of the wrist for that neck and shoulder pain. All right, and then make a fist. Let's punch into our palm. That's for easing stress, anxiety, clarity, and consciousness. So let's go. And you also notice the strength of one side versus the other. Makes a nice little sound. Let's do the other side. Ooh, I definitely notice my left is not as strong as my right. All right, beautiful. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. So next up will be Tai Chi Ball, Qigong with Allison, but I want to give you a little ending gratitude practice. Is how I end our practices on Veterans Yoga Project and in the classes I teach. So I invite you to either have hands together or hands stacked on your heart center, your middle Dantian, and just for today, I invite you to drop your chin towards your chest. Eyes can be opened or closed. I invite you to think about one thing that you're grateful for today, and or maybe an idea of gratitude. And then grab and clasp that idea, that thing that you're thankful for today, and let's place it into our heart space. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Let's lift our head, and we're going to end our class as we began it today. So let's take that right fist, that's the sun, and that flat left palm, that's the moon. And we bow down to one another in respect in our Chair Tai Chi class. This concludes our practice of Chair Tai Chi. Join Allison Tuesday, Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, 10:30 a.m. on Fridays, and myself either 11 a.m. in person or 1 p.m. on Veterans Yoga Project. Bye, y'all. Gail in Texas.